Hello, I'm Kaya, and I'm going to be talking about what I think a hero is. Now, when you think of hero, you might be thinking of the heroes created by Marvel or DC, the fictional ones that come through with their superpowers and save the day, but I think that a real-life hero, is very different than that. Obviously, superpowers don't exist. But when people think of superheroes, they usually think of like firefighters or policemen or doctors, especially now with COVID. And I agree those people are heroes, and they're fantastic at what they do and fantastic for doing what they do. But I would argue that being a hero is more than a job. I believe that anybody who has a willingness to help others and a drive to make things right and fight for equality, I feel like those people are really heroes, and I really look up to them, and they inspire me to do good things every day. So I'll be showing off some of the people throughout history who I think are heroes, who stood up for people who couldn't stand up for themselves and helped people when they didn't really have to. They wanted to. They had a drive to help people, and that is really inspiring to me. And I aspire to be that way. I just want to help people as much as I can. So that's why these people are my heroes. The first person I'll be talking about is Martin Luther King Jr., and I bet you've heard of him. If you haven't, then have you been living under a rock? He was a civil rights advocate for African Americans during the civil rights movement, and he held peaceful protests and rallies and really just fought for the equality for African American individuals.
I have the pleasure to present to you Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
5 years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation.
I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
Harriet Tubman, born a slave herself, once she became free, she sought out to save other slaves and free other slaves. And she did this. She freed many slaves and reunited many families and helped many people, friends and family. And her willingness to help was just amazing. Marsha P. Jones. She was a transgender advocate for the LGBTQ plus community. She was there during the Stonewall riots, which sparked much conversation about equality for LGBTQ individuals. And she's just a huge inspiration to me and many other people I know.
To give you one more time, Love. By Marsha P. Jones.
My part in the gay movement this year to help raise money for the Gay Pride March.
Susan B. Anthony. Being a woman herself, she fought long and hard for women's right to vote. She is one of the main reasons that women are able to vote today, and we have a lot to thank her for. Harvey Milk. He was one of the first openly gay government officials when he was elected on the board for San Francisco. He was just an overall great man. He obviously fought for LGBTQ plus rights, and his life came to an unfortunate end when he was assassinated, but had he been able to live longer, I just know that he would have done great things for the community.
There are 15 million lesbians and gay men waiting to hear your voice. We are coming out of the closet. When are you going to come out of yours?
Eleanor Roosevelt. She was the First Lady of the United States, probably the most notable one we've ever had. She fought for human rights and was a fantastic advocate for human rights. During her rank as First Lady and after, she continued to fight for human rights, and she's just an inspiration to me and many others.
I think we will find that it is easier in the world to build peace, because war destroys all human rights and freedoms. So in fighting for those, we fight for peace.
Now, these people I talked about in this presentation have done great things and are in history books and will continue to be in history books, but that's not the point of the presentation, is that these people are great. It's that they were everyday people just like you and me, and they decided to fight for people's rights, and I think that anybody is capable of that, and that's my message I want to get across is, as long as you have a willingness and a drive to help other people, you can be a hero. We can all be heroes.